Have you ever wondered how to master dawless music production? It's a fascinating world where creativity thrives and sonic boundaries are pushed. Dawless music production is a method of making music without the use of a digital audio workstation, or DAW, hence the term dawless. This approach puts the focus on hardware, like synthesizers, drum machines, and samplers, allowing you to create music in a more tactile, hands-on way. The beauty of dawless music production lies in its immediacy, the freedom it provides from staring at a screen, and the unique, organic soundscapes you can create. It's a journey that's as rewarding as it is challenging, a chance to explore new territories of sound and rhythm. Whether you're a seasoned musician looking for new ways to express your creativity, or you're just starting your musical journey, the world of dawless music production holds a universe of possibilities. To master dawless music production, there are a few steps that you need to follow. The first step to becoming a master is understanding the basics. At the heart of dawless music production are the instruments. These can range from synthesizers, drum machines, samplers, to sequencers. It's all about what sounds you want to create. You have synthesizers for your melodic and harmonic elements, drum machines for your percussive beats, and samplers for capturing and manipulating sounds. Then there are sequencers. These are your musical sketchpads. They help you arrange your sounds in a sequence to create a full track. Now let's talk about the hardware. The beauty of dawless music production is that you're not tied to a computer. Instead, you're working with physical equipment. This could be anything from a standalone synthesizer, a groovebox, or a multi-track recorder. What's important is that it allows you to generate, manipulate, and record sounds. And each piece of hardware brings its own unique texture and color to your music, so choose wisely. The general workflow in dawless music production is a bit different from traditional digital audio workstation-based production. It's more hands-on and immediate. You start by creating your sounds using your instruments. Then you arrange these sounds using your sequencer. Once you're happy with your arrangement, you record it into your hardware. From there, you can add effects, tweak your sounds, and mix your track. It's a more tactile and direct way of creating music, which can be really inspiring. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's all about finding what works for you and your music. Whether you prefer to start with a beat, a melody, or a sample, the key is to experiment and have fun. And don't worry if it doesn't sound perfect right away. It's all part of the process. With a strong grasp of the basics, you've laid the groundwork for your journey towards mastering dawless music production. Choosing the right equipment is a critical step in your dawless music production journey. Now, you might be wondering, how do I make the right choice? Well, there are several factors that you need to consider. Firstly, consider your budget. As with most things in life, the price tag often reflects the quality of the product. However, it doesn't mean you have to break the bank to get the best gear. There's a wide range of equipment out there to suit every budget. From entry-level to professional grade, you'll find something that fits your pocket and meets your needs. Next, think about your music style. Different genres often require different tools. For instance, if you're into electronic music, you might want to invest in a good synthesizer or drum machine. On the other hand, if you're into acoustic music, a high-quality microphone would be essential. Your level of expertise is another key consideration. If you're just starting out, you might not need the most complex gear. Sometimes simple is better. Choose equipment that you can easily understand and operate. As you progress and gain more experience, you can then upgrade to more sophisticated devices. Consider also the flexibility and versatility of the equipment. Can it serve multiple purposes? Does it allow for growth and expansion? These are questions you need to ask yourself. You want equipment that can grow with you as you advance in your music production journey. Finally, don't forget to read reviews and seek advice. There are many online forums and communities where you can get insights from other musicians. Their experiences and recommendations can be invaluable in helping you make an informed decision. In conclusion, choosing the right equipment for dawless music production involves careful consideration of various factors. It's about finding a balance between your budget, music style, level of expertise, and the versatility of the equipment. And remember, the best gear for you is the one that meets your needs and helps you achieve your musical goals. Remember, the right equipment can make a significant difference in your music production process. Now that you have the right equipment, it's time to create your first dawless track. Creating a dawless track is all about sequencing, programming, and recording. Let's dive into the process step by step. First, let's talk about sequencing. Sequencing is the process of arranging your instruments in a particular order to create a coherent musical piece. Start by choosing a primary instrument, like a synthesizer or a drum machine, and use it to lay down your basic melody or rhythm. Then add additional instruments one by one, carefully considering the role each one plays in the overall composition. Remember to be patient and take your time. The beauty of dawless music production is that it allows for real-time, hands-on manipulation of your sound. Next, we move on to programming the beats. This is where your drum machine or beat sequencer comes into play. Start by setting the tempo. Then, program your kick drum, snare, and hi-hat patterns. Don't be afraid to experiment and play around with different rhythms and patterns until you find something that fits your track. And remember, less is often more when it comes to beats. A simple, solid beat can often provide a strong foundation for your track. Finally, it's time to hit the record button. One of the key aspects of dawless music production is that you're recording in real time. This means you can tweak your sounds and patterns on the fly as you're recording. It's a live performance captured in the moment. So, take a deep breath, hit record, and let your creativity flow. And there you have it. You've just created your first dawless track. It might feel a bit overwhelming at first, but don't worry, it's a process that comes with practice. Keep experimenting, keep learning, and most importantly, keep having fun. Creating your first dawless track can be both exciting and challenging, but with practice, it becomes easier. So keep at it, and before you know it, you'll be a master at dawless music production. Mastering your dawless track is the final step in the music production process. It's akin to putting the final coat of polish on a brand new car. It's about refining what you have, rather than creating something new. So, what does mastering a dawless track entail? Let's break it down. Firstly, we need to adjust the levels. This is about making sure that all elements of your track are balanced and harmonious. You don't want one part of your track overpowering the others. It's about ensuring that the bass isn't drowning out the melody, or that the drums aren't overshadowing the vocals. Each element must have its own space, yet work together to create a cohesive whole. Next up is equalizing the sound. Equalization, or EQ for short, is the process of balancing the different frequency components in an audio track. It's about fine-tuning your track to ensure it sounds just as good on a pair of cheap earbuds as it does on a high-end stereo system. This might involve boosting the bass frequencies, cutting the mid-range, or tweaking the treble. Remember, there's no right or wrong here. It's all about what sounds best to your ears. Lastly, we move on to adding effects. This is where you get to be creative and add that extra sparkle to your track. Maybe you want to add some reverb to give your track a sense of space, or perhaps a delay to create a sense of movement. Or you might want to use compression to control the dynamic range of your track. Again, there are no hard and fast rules here. It's about using your ears and adding what you feel the track needs. Mastering is a subtle art. It's not about making drastic changes, but rather small, subtle tweaks that can make a big difference to the overall sound of your track. It's the difference between a good track and a great one. Mastering your track gives it a polished, professional sound that is ready for the world to hear. Mastering dawless music production may seem daunting at first, but it's a rewarding journey. We've navigated through the fundamentals of this exciting realm, shedding light on key aspects that pave the way towards your creative freedom. Remember, understanding the basics is your foundation, your stepping stone, into exploring the limitless possibilities of music production. Choosing the right equipment is equally important. It's like picking the right tools for an artist to paint their masterpiece. Your gear should resonate with your unique sound, your style, and your vision. Then comes the exhilarating part of creating your first track. Don't be afraid to experiment, to push boundaries, and to create something truly unique. Mastering your track is the final step in this process, polishing your creation to shine in all its glory. It's a meticulous process which requires patience and practice. With time, practice, and patience, you too can master dawless music production.